Welcome back to Arcanum, where we have reached Kintara. Which, well, I'm not really sure what to make of it, but let's go inside. You know what? Maybe I should put on my good suit. Who's got my good suit? Actually, while I'm at it, Gar hasn't switched to... Nope. See, I'm still confused. This serrated chakram is technically... appears to be... I guess Azrim's star is faster. But raw statistics-wise... serrated chakram is better. Okay. Well... I can't give you the fucking... bombs, because you'll bomb yourself and the rest of us. Can't give you the rest of this shit either, because you'll either equip it or drink it. Damn it. Maybe this is enough. Okay, who's got my suit? Strip down in front of the elves. Put on my suit. You have my suit. Okay. Who can hold my armor? Magnus. It's gonna be you. Nope. That's not what I want. Come on. There we go. Okay. Save again, just save myself the headache if this needs to be redone. Greetings, Outlander. Welcome to the elven city of Kintara. Greetings to you. I won't say this again, human. You are welcome to walk the city tree, but if you cause any trouble here, you will be punished to the full extent of elven law. The guard's hand moves to the hilt of his sword. Your kind has taken much from us already. You may pass. Boy, talking about mixed messages, I mean, like... Oh, apparently clicking good day teleports you inside. Well, this is cool. Honestly, my first thought is, it reminds me of either Endor's Moon or Kashyyyk. Take your pick. But this is pretty neat. I have no idea which way to go. Or what anything is. Is this a house? Is it a teleporter? I wouldn't know the difference. Is it a good day for you? I might ask your name. My name is Swift. Well, I guess we happened to find somebody right off the bat with a name, so... my name is Swift. You're an adventurer, are you not? Yes, as a matter of fact, I am. Why do you ask? Pray tell, have you ever been to that fabulous city known as Tarant? Yes, I have visited there. Would you be interested in a job as a guide? What did you have in mind? I will pay you 300 coins to bring me safely to Tarant. Why do you want to go there? Everyone goes there. I am tired of this forest. I need some adventure, excitement. Will you take me? It's funny, I can't even just agree. I have to ask her for more. I will do it for 450. That's way too much. She thinks for a moment. Okay, I'll do it. But I think you're mean. Good. Okay, I'm really glad that I'm not the only one who thought that phrasing was weird. Mean? Just how old are you actually? Just how old are you actually? I'm 150 years old. Why? Isn't that a little young for an elf to be out on her own? What are you trying to say? I am mature enough to make my own decisions. Oh boy. Fuck it. That's open to debate. She starts to cry. Oh, why are you being so mean to me? Jesus. These responses are something else. Oh, man. I'm not being mean, simply realistic. I can't take you. I don't like you. Leave me alone. Hold on. Now I'm curious. Yeah, she's pretty under-leveled for being a level 9. Does she have any skills? Dodge and melee a bit. And she's got some magic. Let's see. Actually, she could probably hold her own. Statistically, she's not great, but ability-wise, she's alright. Huh. Well, I am gonna roll that back, because... Yes, threaten to cut my head off. You know what? I'll come back to her. I don't know that I want her tailing me around the whole time. Hello, sir. Might I ask your name? Another named character. My name is Mr. Wind, the master of the hunt. It's a pleasure to meet you. He looks at the sky. He seems somewhat distracted. The pleasure is mine. You said you are master of the hunt? We have a group of hunters who supply Kintara with food and other supplies. I am their commander. I see. Are there a lot of hunters here in Kintara? No, we are a small community here. We never have need for more than 3 or 4 hunters at any given time. Again, he looks up. Say, do you happen to know the hour? Sure, tell him. He only half hears you. I'm very worried. There's a hunter who left here yesterday and hasn't returned. Normally I'd not be concerned, but he was hunting the forest near the dark fens. There are strange things in those swamps. That's worrisome. Could I be of help? Would you? I need to go on another hunt, but I could tell you where he was hunting and you could travel there. I'm sure it's nothing, but I get worried about my hunters. If you could see that he's safely on his way home, I could offer you some elven chainmail. Jesus. Alright. Done. Thank you so very much. I can mark your map with the general area where he was hunting. He does so. Good luck to you. I am leaving now. Alright. Is this a home? What is this? What am I looking at? That looks like a toilet. Is this an open air toilet? It's very fancy. Okay, which way do I go? Okay, so it looks like we've got like... That's a pretty limited set of nodes here. Okay. This is browsable in a reasonable amount of time. What was I coming here for again? What's up? Let's see. Oh, okay. So, unrelated to what we're talking about right now, but the reason behind the separation from the Darien Cause seems to be something that was discovered about Kurgan, who is the first dark necromancer whose death was the reason behind the formation of the Order of the Dead. Kurgan is the one whose journal and stuff we got like 2 episodes ago from the buried in the Dwarven clan. Boy, game, you're really not piecing this together for me at all. I only know that because I read part of the wiki about the location and about the gear. Boy, I wish I could search this. Note seems to be sent from the Elven village of Kintara. Mingorod is who we're looking for. Okay. Is that a stairwell? Is this supposed to be... Wait, what? Why is there a dwarf wizard here? What the fuck? Okay. Happy to make your acquaintance, sir. I am surprised to see a dwarf here. Don't introduce yourself or anything. You insufferable asshole, ice maker. This is my home. What do you wish of me? What is a dwarf doing in Kintara? What better place to train in the ways of magic? Tula, perhaps? The legendary city of mages? I would have had even less of a chance of acceptance there. It is a bit unusual, isn't it? You being a mage and all that? I've been drawn towards magic for my entire life. Unlike most dwarves, I had no affinity for things of a technological nature. Boy, let's just keep asking stupid questions, huh? So that's why you live here? I am under a tutorial agreement to my teacher, Wrath. That's a hell of a name. I am unable to leave until my contract is finished. How long is this contract for? My contract runs until the end of Wrath's life. Jesus. In exchange for training in the magical arts, I agreed to serve him, but that bitter old elf can last another 2, possibly 300 years. Why did you agree to such an interminable length of service? I'm not sure that's the word I would use. It's not interminable, it's like, it literally does terminate. Maybe indeterminate? That makes more sense. No elf wanted to take a dwarf as an apprentice. It was the best offer I could get. It wasn't bad at first, when Wrath was simply surly. Over the past 50 years or so, he's become increasingly bitter and difficult to work for. I do not know what I will do if I can't convince him to release me soon. Why don't you just leave? I would never dishonor myself so. The only thing that can release me besides death is his word. Okay, so I either have to convince him to let him go, or murder him. Okay, and I even offer to do so. Jokes. Perhaps I could convince him to release you. Thank you for the offer, but your interference would only serve to anger him, which would lead to greater torment for myself at his hands. If you're certain, I suppose I'll be on my way then. Can I talk to him again? I guess not. Interesting. I wonder what would have happened, whether he would have agreed to have me kill him if I had offered. Or if I had been more of a jerk. And said something racist about dwarves being stubborn, because there was that option. Why does he get, like, a tree all to himself, too? Seems like a very... I mean, this is very pretty and nicely designed, but it's terribly inefficient use of their space. I need to know what the fuck these things are. I swear they just look like... Well, I was gonna say toilets, but that now seems inappropriate, given that when I highlight the body, it says, "You see the dead body of Wrath, Yorman's mentor. There seems to be no sign of violence or struggle." The empty wine glass has a strange, pungent odor. Yoink. Yeah, whatever. I'll let him keep his robes. Can't be bothered to reorganize my inventory to deal with that. Well, this resolved itself real quick. Now I'm curious if he would be dead, or what even the message would say if I had not talked to this guy first. I may have to reload and find out. What business do you have here? Yormund is under arrest for murder. You believe he killed Wrath? Who else could have done it? Elves like us don't kill each other. Besides yourself, he was the only other outsider in Kintara when the murder occurred. Elves like us? Are there other types of elves? No, there are not. You must have misunderstood my meaning. Are you saying there is no murder among elves like you? Not in my lifetime there hasn't been. It just doesn't happen. Elves aren't like the other races. I'm sure you believe that too. The evidence is right in front of your eyes. Look at this peaceful village. Dude, there's like 20 people here. Don't kid yourself. Except for the murder. Exactly. We never should have let a dwarf live among us. Yeah, he was fine for 50 years and then he just had a freak out. You guys are... This is what I don't understand. Like, so, this is a common trope in fantasy settings, that you have, like, certain races that live on different timescales, right? Hundreds or even thousands of years. And often they are characterized as being stubborn or slower to make changes, or just like not bothered by a lot of stuff. It depends on the medium and the race and whatever else. But it's typically used as a writing tool to like give a general characterization of the race. And usually that and that's based on their increased longevity, right? They're just not as bothered. By comparison, humans seem to live such short lives that, you know, it serves as a contrast to the like manic nature of a human life. I'm having a hard time piecing this together on the fly as I'm trying to discuss it, but what has always bothered me about those types of tropes, among other things, is that typically the general mood and the general actions of those races do not reflect the like theoretical social or cultural affect that they're trying to imply, right? So The reason I bring it up is you've got two races that live for hundreds or thousands of years. He's been here 50 years, so for a human, that's what? Maybe a few years? 5 years, let's say? Assuming 100 years to 100 years for a human, 1,000 years for an elf or a dwarf. Let's just pretend it for simple math. He's been here 5 years. Now, it's not totally out of the realm of possibility that somebody who was being mentored for 5 years would suddenly, out of the blue, like, just be fed up enough to kill their mentor. But, like, I mean, this is mixing bad tropes, where not only do you have the cop who is overeager to just say, well, obviously it was this, but you also have the, like, jump to conclusions racist, and also you have this problem of, like, hey, you're both races that live on longer timescales. Why are you, like, it's been what, maybe 10 minutes, maybe a day. It'll be really generous and say it's been a day. They're just, like, they're characterizing it like he's absolutely done it immediately. No, like, sense of, none of that cultural longevity seems to have affected the way that this reaction would be handled, right? It's a very human reaction. It's that impulsive, like, human cop thing of, like, he's a criminal, fuck him. When by their own, by the picture the cultural picture they seem to be painting would imply that the reaction would be very different, or at least quite possibly be, right? I don't think I'm crazy to say that the reaction ought to be, let's, like, I mean, I don't know. It gets into the minutia of whether or not these races of greater longevity actually perceive time at a different rate, which is something that has come up in a few pieces of fantasy fiction that I've read, but it's never really delved into because it's a very weird thing to get into, right? The passage of time is so subjective that you and I have no idea whether our understanding, our perception of the passage of time is at all the same. They could be totally different. We just assume that they're the same because we operate relatively similarly in an external manner. But even if your literal perception is not any different between races of different longevities, you'd still think that there would be a more overarching effect that would change this behavior. Sorry, that was such a weird random tangent that I didn't articulate particularly well, but I hope you got something out of that and that I didn't just sound like a rambling crazy person. I think you are predisposed to believe he is the murderer. Of course we are. Why shouldn't we be? Dwarves are a violent, primitive race. How anyone could live in the ground is beyond me. Jesus Christ, dude. I think the facts should be considered and not personal feelings. Oh, I see. An idealist. Well, the facts are this. An elf is dead, a dwarf hated him. I do not need any other facts than that. Well, okay. Neither of those things are true. The elf may or may not be dead. The body's over there. I just found it. You clearly have not done an autopsy, so you don't even know that he's dead. You also don't know that he hated him. In fact, from the discussion I just had with him, it sounds to me like he didn't hate him, he just kind of resented the mistreatment he was receiving. And had really been bearing with it for a long time. So, fuck you, not facts. I hope to prove you wrong. Tell me, how was Wrath killed? I don't know. We haven't determined that as of yet. Fucking perfect, you idiot. At this point, all we know is that we can find no evidence of any injuries from weapons. What about magic? Quench life would have done the trick? No, we of Kintara are acutely attuned to the flows. Okay, we'll just pretend that's normal lingo. If any dark necromancy had been used... Oop, that's a typo. If any dark necromancy had been used, we would have felt it. No weapons or magic? That leaves poison, right? I am not at liberty to discuss any more of this case with you. I've revealed too much already, I fear. May I be allowed to go in and speak with him at least? Sure, go on in. But don't try anything, I'll be listening out here. I must be off. Well, Elfguard, you're a real asshole. You're also level 1, so... I will stab you if I have to. You've returned. I do not believe you are guilty of killing Wrath. Why do you say that? He was not killed with magic or a weapon. That leaves poison. I mean, that was kind of a jump. There's only one apothecary, Sharp, in Kintara. If the poison was bought here, he'd have been the one to sell it. I need to speak with him somehow. Since I am confined to my house, I need someone to help clear my name. Are you interested in helping me out? Sure, I'll give it a go. I will give you my prized staff of Zoranth for your help, good sir. Huh. Well, I don't want to be rude, but I have no use for things of magic. Staff of Zoranth could fetch quite a substantial price on the open market for you. Okay. I accept your offer, sir. Good day. Well.
How can I help you?
I don't know. I'm sort of hoping you have things to say, but it seems like every one of my companions has nothing to contribute to any conversation once their initial arc has been completed. Okay. What I am actually going to do real quick. Because I'm curious now. Wait a minute, was this before... I don't have to go all the way back, do I? I guess I do. It's probably not even worth the time, but I'll do it anyway because I'm curious. This game is so weird that I need to know how it's assembled. I bet it's whoever lives here. I bet he killed him. Got tired of his snoring. Well, he's not dead. That's fascinating. I did not expect that. I had a suspicion it might be the case, because That's the exact kind of thing that excuse me. That's the exact kind of thing that Troika tends to put their details into. Get out of my house, fool. Do you have some sort of problem I could help you with? Oh, one of those, eh? Wrath doesn't need some imbecilic adventurer mucking about in his business. Leave me to be before I'm forced to smite you, fool. Smite me? You can't be serious. His face begins to turn red. Leave my house, now. Leave my house, now! No.
Hey! I don't understand why we're attacking such a decent time. I won't do this for much longer.
Oh no, someone killed him. Well, let's just be on our way. Now I'm really curious. I'm so much more curious now. That's hilarious. There's so, like, most RPGs would never let you kill any sort of NPC that had any sort of need to be in any particular state for a quest. I have some sort of appreciation for that. Wow, you don't even get to you can't even talk to him. The whole quest dies. Fascinating. Greetings, good day. Now, if I don't shoot him, let's see what happens. Wonder if I can convince him. Maybe he'll give me some illuminating information, tell me all the people that hate him. Is the answer everyone? I bet it's everyone. I'm not even in your house this time. Your name is Wrath? That is fitting somehow. How many times must I ask you to leave me be? Sometimes the writing in this game is pretty good. 4. You need to control yourself, sir. Alright, I'm leaving. Can I talk to him again? 4. Huh. Well. That is fascinating that you can just dead end the whole quest immediately if you talk to him 3 times. I guess it's not important. But it is curious. It's an interesting design choice in particular because it is very uneconomical, right? And that's not to say that there aren't uneconomical choices in a lot of game design. But when you design something that not only maybe can be skipped, but can be actively like canceled out by another action, you know, just like negate a whole chunk of the game basically. That's extremely uneconomical. Now, admittedly, this type of game, being an RPG with limited sprites, limited voice acting, you know, limited unique content, it basically comes down to whether or not you're willing to invest the time into writing the dialogue and modeling a handful of sprites, most of which are clearly palette swaps. But it's still a fascinating choice. and not one that a lot of games would even consider taking. But just a locked chest. How do people live in a space that small? Can't even lie down. And there's no doors either. Maybe the doors slide around the side. Oh. Did I click on her or did she walk up? I didn't see her. Hello, madam. May I ask who you are? The elven woman smiles. Although still very beautiful, her eyes betray a great age and wisdom, as well as the lively spark of retained youth. Of course, in your tongue I am called Whisper. Might I ask who you are, sir? Yes, of course, I am Jeremiah Sanchez. It's a pleasure to meet you, Jeremiah Sanchez. What brings you to Kintara? Boy. I just don't like that response. It does seem like the type of thing that Jeremiah would do. Just exposit for 20 minutes at a stranger. But I can't bear that. Oh, just passing through, tasting the local flavor and whatnot. I see. She arches an eyebrow, giving you a slight smirk. Kintara is a strange place to drop in for a friendly visit. Well, be that as it may, what can I help you with? I had a few questions, if you don't mind. Certainly. What do you do here in Kintara, Whisper? I suppose you could call me... She leans in to whisper to you. A scientist. Shh! If anyone heard me say that here, I'd be thrown to the forest floor. She laughs good-heartedly. A scientist? What is it that you're studying, Whisper? Well, I'm studying the local wildlife. There are many strange and magical creatures in the Glimmering Forest, and no one has really taken time to catalog them at all, study their unique characteristics. I am doing so. What creatures are you studying right now? Right now I'm cataloging all of the different types of will-o'-the-wisps, according to their particular essence. I'm almost finished, but I can't seem to gather a sample from the rare Volar's wisp. What do you mean by essence? Some will-o'-the-wisps, when they die, leave behind what is known as their essence. It's a physical manifestation of their magical properties. Sometimes it is used in magical potions and poisons. We have an apothecary here in Kintara, Mr. Sharp, who specializes in those sorts of things. What is this Volar's wisp? Volar's wisp is a special kind of will-o'-the-wisp, very rare and typically hostile. You can tell them by their blue hue. Will-o'-the-wisp come in all colors, but only Volar's wisp is blue. I've had the most difficult time finding one and gathering its essence. I see, perhaps I could be of assistance. Yes, perhaps you could at that. I've been very busy here and I haven't been able to go out wisp hunting. If you were to bring me some essence of Volar's wisp, I could offer you a magical scroll. That's very non-specific. Would you be interested in something like that? I'll do so in return. That's wonderful. If you travel within the Glimmering Forest long enough, you should run across a Volar's wisp. Good luck to you, my friend. I must take my leave. Well, that's interesting enough, I suppose. Does sort of make me wonder about the state of this whole society. Sog, how are you still drunk? You haven't even been drinking the wine I have you carrying. Unless he's been pissing back in the bottles. Maybe that would explain it. What about you? I assume you have a name too. Yes, what can I do for you? Greetings, maiden. Might I ask your name? Maiden, really? But of course, I am known as Cal Nedriel in the Elven tongue. However, you may call me Fawn. A pleasure, Fawn. What is it you do here? Oh, giggling nervously. Forgive me for not telling you before. I am accustomed to everyone knowing my position. I am the master healer. I am here to help all those in need of restoration. Which response? I am most fortunate to have met you. Might I impose further? Oh yes, what is it you require, Jeremiah Sanchez? And my options are, I need healing, or can I look at your trade goods? Wow, alright. That's slightly embarrassing. Scroll of exiting, scroll of squall of ice. Maybe that's what I was getting hit with in that horrible dungeon. Regenerate, major healing. I don't think any. Whatever. If I need these things, I'll just spec into them. Faded ring. Crit chance +5, gambling +1. Well, don't mind if I do. Not for the gambling bit, but also I haven't told anybody about this wine glass I found. I can sell it to her though, which is hilarious. Okay. Well, not gonna deal with that right now. Okay. I do like that everything's running so smoothly in this area. It's almost like it's not filled with a bunch of bullshit. Alright. Next time on Arcanum, we're gonna find this apothecary, or whatever they called him. See if we can figure out what's going on with this poison, and then I expect we'll eventually get over here to these elf nobles and whatever this is. We'll figure out what all that is next time.